Alrighty, y'all, welcome back. So, it's finally time to get this thing wrapped, or get the graphics put on it. It's not going to be a full wrap, but I had the thing polished and detailed, but I needed to remove the wax that was on the parts that they were putting the wrap on, so I did that at home today. And then, of course, I drove it down the gravel road, so it got all dusty. So I've got to knock the dust and the bugs off of it, and then I'll be heading over to Revolution Wraps. And I'm going to leave it there for the weekend. Kind of bummed. They're not going to let me in there to film, which is a big bummer. I was really hoping they would, but I believe they'll set up a camera for me and do a time lapse, or maybe their social media person will do some work. We will find out. But I'm going to get this wrap knocked out, and then I'll see you guys over there. All right, we've made it. Grab this camera. Hopefully they'll do a time lapse for me. We shall see. If not, I guess you guys will just see it when it's done. Oh, and there's the wife to pick me up already. But there's one last look at it. All shiny and clean. All right, we'll go in here and see if they'll tell me about what they're going to do and what they're going to be doing.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing well.
All right, it's heading in. Well, I will be back in a couple of days to pick this thing up. Their social media person said she would do some shots for me, so we shall see what that turns out like, and I'll get back to you guys when we pick it up. Alrighty, y'all, we are on our way to go pick up the van. It is done. I had to wait for my wife to get off work to give me a ride in. I'm super excited to see this thing. I haven't seen any pictures of it or anything like that, and they've had it for a couple of days, so we'll see what this looks like. I'm stoked. Oh, it's sitting outside. That looks awesome. That looks really cool. Those colors are great. That is rad. That's cool looking.
Balls hanging from the...
All right. There she is. It's like 3 different shades of blue, and it's all metallic. You can see that on there. And that looks super, super cool. Too bad it's not a little bit sunnier out here. And then on the rear, it kind of goes in like this. Like, we will put the spare tire carrier back on there, but that's cool. All right, I gotta go inside and get the keys and stuff. But I'm stoked on that. That is rad. Love the way the hood turned out. I wanted to get graphics on the hood like that. All right, I got the keys. Yeah, I love the sparkle in it, dude. It looks so good. Stoked on this. All right. Yeah, I'm excited for this, man. With the little bit of low and some wheels on here, it is gonna look awesome. We got some aftercare instructions up in here. They did put a magnet on the bumper. I already took it off. But yeah, this is awesome. All right, I'm gonna go grab some dinner with my wife, and then probably find somewhere we can take some good pictures of this thing and look at it a little bit better, and maybe hope the sun comes out a little bit more. I guess I might be in the shade of the building too over here, but all right. Stoked on this, guys. It looks awesome. All right, I found it's a church parking lot, but I wanted to stop somewhere before I went and drove it down my gravel road at home, which is gonna suck. You can see the shine in that, dude. It looks so good. I really wish there was a bit more sun. It's behind the clouds, so you could really see the sparkle that's in it. But it's hard to see. But it's definitely got some sparkle in there. Looks great, man. So stoked on how this turned out. We didn't remove the emblems, so it's cut around the emblems on the back there and on the sides. It's already getting dirty. Dang old dang. But it just looks great. They had an issue. The original initial design had like the lines just went straight across the hood on the photos, like the renderings that they gave me. But it took them a little bit longer because once they tried to do that, they realized it wasn't going to go across the hood directly or correctly or whatever. So you can see it kind of flares down a little bit. They all kind of do that and widen out, but it looks great. I'm really happy with the colors of it. I think it matches the interior nicely. It looks rad. And yeah, I just need to lower it a little bit just to get rid of that wheel gap. Not going super low. I know somebody's gonna be like, well, you're not gonna be able to drive that anywhere. It's like a truck, dude. You can lower it a few inches before you even have to worry about it. But I've been doing a lot of research on that. I think a couple inches front and rear would look perfect on this thing. But I'm gonna get this thing home, which I gotta drive it down the gravel, which is a bummer. But before we end out this video, I've got a couple other small things I want to try to take care of on this thing. So I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, y'all, we're back. It is a couple weeks later at this point. My wife and I went on a little anniversary vacation, but we've got the van home here in the garage. I did mention that I wanted to do a couple of other things. The number one thing that I was trying to get done, which I did not get done in time, is this spare tire carrier. As you can see, it's a little crusty and rusty on this. It's just some surface rust that would sand right off. But I do plan to put the spare tire back on the back of the van. I don't plan to run the cover that was on there. Once I get new wheels, you know, the wheel will look nice on the back here. And I was unsure if I was just gonna paint it black again, sand it down and paint it black, or my other thought was to have this chromed. I probably wouldn't do actual like chrome plating. I would just do chrome powder coat. In my opinion, that looks just fine. So I guess leave your opinion or your comment down below on what do you think I should do to this. Should I have it done in white, chrome, or just paint it black? White would obviously match the van, but I think chrome would look cool since it does have chrome bumpers. You know, it's got aluminum running boards. The wheels I plan to put on probably aren't going to be chrome, but they'll be bright, you know, basically like what's on there now. But I think chrome would look nice. I think it would be a nice touch. So let me know what you guys think. This just slides onto the hinges here, and then there's a couple bolts in the door. You can see where it bolts onto the door right here. So it's a really easy install but I don't want to put this back on until I get it done, because then it'll just sit there and I'll never do it. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think I should do to this. And yeah, we'll figure this out in the future. I don't know if I'll do this before the end of the van season, since it does get parked for the winter and that's coming up really quick. But yeah, you've got to get that taken care of. And the other thing I wanted to do was slap on an exhaust tip, because the exhaust on here, the tip is pretty rusty. It's just a regular tailpipe. There's no actual exhaust tip on there. And I do plan to put a V8 in this van at some point. I'm gonna LS swap it, so there's no reason to have the exhaust rebuilt and changed out at this point. But I picked up this premium stainless resonator exhaust tip from O'Reilly's, and this should slap right on there. It's got a 2.5-inch tailpipe, and this will fit 1.75 to 2.75, and then it's got a 3.5-inch outlet diameter here, and it is, like I said, it is resonated, which doesn't really matter to me, but it's what they had. And I think this will be a nice touch, since the van is pretty clean looking, you know? So, I don't know, we might need to cut that tip back a bit, just so it actually looks a little nicer, but let's see what we can do. Why do they go ahead and put stickers on? I guess it's just a cling sticker, but check that out. Nice old tip. Blah, blah. I think this should be cool. Don't know exactly how this clamps down, but let me grab a little wrench and we'll see what we need to do here. I do think I'm probably gonna need to cut that exhaust back a little bit. As you can see, the tip is a little crusty, but there's plenty of room down there, and it does sound fine. The exhaust is fine. It's just, that is probably, I don't know if that's original to the van at 30 years old, but it's probably pretty dang close. So this just has three little teeth that bite down on there. It's pretty standard for this type of stuff. They're just little 10 mil bolts. I haven't used the bolt-on exhaust tip in a long time, but just need to dress it up a little bit, you know what I mean? Yeah, that looks nice on there. Probably about there, but the exhaust does come basically out the whole way, so you wouldn't get any of the resonator action going on. So I'm gonna grab either a Sawzall, or I'll grab a cutoff wheel, and we'll cut some of this off so that we can actually get some of the resonator on there, and then it's not bouncing around like that. Figure out how much we need to cut off of here. That's pretty solid. I should be able to just use a Sawzall, I guess, if I have metal blades. I don't know if I have any metal blades yet left. You know what I mean? Let's figure this out. Dang old Sawzall. Haven't used this guy in a while. Does this have blades? Have blades on this, or maybe. These are probably wood blades. Yeah. That's a wood blade. That's a metal blade, I believe. I don't know, we'll see what we can do with the blade that's in here and see how it works out. If not, I can grab a grinder and we can use the cutoff wheel on a grinder, but this should be easier, let's hope. I should have swept the floor before I started this nonsense, but it's all right. Gotta have enough space for it to bite on there. Should be all right. Can't even tell you the last time I used this thing. No, this is a wood bimetal blade. It's even gonna be long enough, yeah. All right. You guys saw the rust fall off of this thing. Looks good for my house. I think that looks good right there. Are we straight? Straight enough? Probably want to periodically check these just so I don't lose my exhaust tip running down the road, but it's on there nice and tight. That ain't going nowhere. Yeah, that looks so much nicer. So much nicer. The one thing I do kind of wish, and some guys will do, is they'll cut and section these bumpers and pull them in closer to the body. I think that would look nice, but mine is a little bent on the other side, so if I did that, I want to get a new bumper. Some guys will buy truck bumpers off like C10s or square bodies or whatever and modify them to make them fit. They don't directly bolt on, and I really don't believe you can buy a brand new one of these. But that would, sucking this in as tight as you could and pulling it in this way, because there's, you know, there's a full fist gap right there, would be nice. It would look nice. But that looks so much better than this crusty thing. What do you think? I don't think it's sticking out too far. It's not sticking out any farther than the bumper. It's about even with the tire. And it just looks, it looks way nicer, dude. It's wild how something as simple as that can have such a nice effect on the way your vehicle looks. I guess the sun's kind of shining on it. Not that this thing has any kind of crazy sound to it, but why don't I start it up just so we can see what it sounds like. It doesn't have a cat on it, and it's not a loud muffler, but it's got a good chug-a-lug to it. It is a V6 if you guys don't know, which the V6 in these things is basically just a V8 with the last two cylinders cut off. It's the exact same style and design of engine. So yeah, let's start it up. Let it idle down a little bit. Haven't started it for quite a while. I feel like the resonator in that thing has quieted it down a little bit. I'm happy with that. It does look really nice. Might be burning a little bit of oil. I guess I've never really noticed that before, but it could also be because it's been sitting for, I don't know, at this point, 2.5 or 3 weeks. Like I said, we're gonna V8 swap it at some point anyways. She runs out fine. But yeah, stoked on that, dude. It looks, that just, like I said, those little touches can complete the look of a vehicle and make it look so much nicer. I do kind of feel like I should put a mud flap here though. But that's for future, Mike. And all right, I think that's about it. One thing that I don't know if I even noticed it when I kind of did the walk around at the church, was that they wrapped the front emblem white, and there's bugs on it already, but they put white vinyl on there. I think that was a nice touch. Yeah, that looks good. But yeah, the wrap, I'm loving it. I think it looks great. Once we get some different wheels and just get rid of this massive wheel gap here, it will look super nice. I am absolutely stoked on how this turned out. I know it's hard to see the flake that's in the design in the wrap material, but it shines really good when you're out in the sunlight. So we've got, like I said, the spare tire carrier to button up. I could touch up these window frames. The black paint is flaking off a bit, but you know, these were used. I installed the pop-out windows, and other than that, she looks really good, and I'm stoked on the new tip. Dang old dang. Bam. All right. Well, this was a short one, but I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out here. I need to get the van packed up so we can take it out on a little adventure. I wanna go drive it around. I've only driven it home since I got the wrap on it, and it's fun driving around cool looking vehicles like this, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about the spare tire carrier, what I should do with that. And yeah, I guess stay tuned for the next one. We're gonna get out and do some camping in this thing. So as always, stay tuned for the next adventure. I'll see you in a bit.